What is up, guys? I'm Cassie from Anchored by Books, and today is going to be a more personal video. This is going to be reading and mental health, my story. So I have struggled with my mental health, for as long as I can remember. I have my phone up. On March 16th of this year, I posted a post, I guess you could say, on an app, and I got an incredible amount of feedback, incredible response from people, and I don't know why it's taking me this long to make a video about it, but I want to make a video about it. And the post was reading and mental health, and it basically talked about my struggles with mental health, how reading has helped me cope through that. So that's what I'm going to go over today. So pretty much ever since I can remember, I've always had anxiety. It pretty much started when I was in school. I remember it pretty vividly in high school for sure, but I'm pretty sure it started in like late elementary school, maybe middle school-ish. I don't know, I've always struggled with anxiety. When I was 17 years old, I was right out of high school, I think it was, and I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, which is a pretty broad diagnosis in my opinion. Kind of take that for what it is. I feel like that's pretty common. Not saying that that means mental illness is something to be thrown out the window, because it is not. It is a very serious thing. Whether you understand it or not, it is a real thing that people struggle with day to day, and it can be crippling. I was put on medication for a couple of years, and then about 2 or 3 years ago, I decided to stop taking my medication. I felt like I wanted to deal with my problems without my medication and face them head on and see if I can live day to day without my medication. Now, that is not something that you do by yourself. I consulted my doctor. He helped wean me off of my medication. I went from being so dependent on this medication to help me just do day-to-day things, like even drive. I still have a little bit of anxiety when it comes to driving, but it was so bad I couldn't drive on the freeway because I just was terrified that, oh my god, this person's gonna hit me and I'm gonna die, or I'm not gonna realize what I'm doing, and there's gonna be someone next to me and I'm gonna turn into this lane and I'm gonna hit them, I'm gonna kill them, and I'm gonna be stuck with this guilt of killing somebody. And what if it starts raining really hard, I start hydroplaning and I flip my car? Just these crazy things that most likely weren't gonna happen. I mean, it's probable, it's definitely probable, but they probably weren't gonna happen as long as I was paying attention. Anyway, I was taken off of this medication, and suddenly here I was on my own, for lack of a better term. And that's when I really got into reading. And reading, I have no words to express how reading has changed my life. I don't want to get emotional during this video. Mental health has been such a hard thing for me. And going from feeling like you're so alone, and there's just this dark cloud hovering over you all the time, judging you, making you think people are judging you when they don't even notice you're there for most of the time. And then you're thrown into a book, and you see what the world can be, and all these amazing characters. They go through struggles too, but these worlds that some of these characters live in are so magical and wonderful, and it makes you feel so less alone. It made me feel so good. And I don't think I ever really felt that. I feel like when I was on my medication, I just tried to suppress what was happening in my head, and I focused too much on it when I was on my medication, which sounds crazy. I feel like I focused way too much on what was going on in my head, and I didn't try to solve my problems. I was just always in my head focusing on my anxiety and how I couldn't do something. And even though today I still have that issue and I'm still struggling with my anxiety, I was introduced to the world of books and all these diverse and complex characters and worlds. It almost took me out of reality, and that sounds, how do I say this? It made me forget about my problems, forget about my anxiety. Like, I didn't have to worry about anything but focusing on what I was reading in a book. And it took me out of my own head, and I could suddenly think so clear. And I don't want to say reading saved my life, because it's a little much, but it helped me really navigate through day to day. I think it was early 2016, I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. And the problem with my OCD is that it's not the stereotypical OCD. I don't really count. I don't need to wash my hands excessively. Nothing needs to be in order in a certain way. Honestly, I'm a messy person, and I was reading up to that point. I started reading in 2014 and I was diagnosed this year. But for some reason, when I am diagnosed with something, I focus on that diagnosis, and I fall into this world of, oh my god, I have OCD, what am I gonna do? I'm crazy, people think I'm crazy, I have OCD, what? I'm focusing on this diagnosis that a doctor gave me, but that's not what I need to focus on. I need to focus on how to live every day, day by day, step by step. But that's not what I did. It's a major bump in the road for me, and I suddenly went kind of downhill again. I started to get depressed again. My anxiety was at an all-time high again. My specific compulsion is when I touch certain things, whether it's with my hand, my arm, my feet, I feel like they're sucking the moisture out of my body, which sounds crazy. I know, I haven't met anyone with my same issue. Videos all over the place. I don't even know how to put my thoughts together for this, but I just want people to know that there is a way to live day to day with mental illness. I don't want to say normal, because I don't feel like that is the right term to use, but it's all about finding what works for you, what helps calm you down, what helps keep you focused. And for me, that was reading. Music has also been a big part of my life. Music has helped me through many, many things. But I feel like reading was what really made me feel better. And when I discovered BookTube, I realized there were so many people out there that love to read. And I was suddenly so new to this world of reading. And I was able to talk to people about books that I was loving, that they were loving, and they would recommend good books to me. And I mean, look what I have now. I went from being so alone to suddenly having this library of characters and worlds and all these things for me to explore, other than this crap that is in my head that weighs me down. And I get to escape that sometimes and go into these worlds. And then I come back out and I realize that as long as I start, book down for a minute or whatever, and I just suddenly am thrown back into reality. But I have these thoughts of, you know what it feels like to momentarily not have anxiety or be depressed or have your OCD tendencies, and it's just pure bliss. And there's ways to do that outside of reading. You can do it on your own, and it's about having confidence in yourself and knowing that you can do better than what you think you can do. And even now, at this point in my life, I'm 24, and I don't know what I want to do with my life. I've dropped out of college 3 times for my anxiety, and I have this loan and I have nothing to show for it because my anxiety has ruled my life for so long. And sometimes I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to do something with myself because I've let my anxiety rule my life for so long, and I pushed myself and I decided to make my booktube channel. I've met so many great people, and I'm just so thankful for what booktube has done for me and for the world that it's opened me up to. Sorry, I feel so stupid for crying. I try not to let this all get to me, but I'm truly thankful for what books have done for me. And I know that reading can't solve everything for me. At some point I'm gonna have to pick myself up and go do something with myself. But I feel like booktube and reading have really kind of put me in that first step on trying to become comfortable with myself, being more accepting of other people, and I'm just so grateful for what reading has done for me. It's changed my life. It really has. So these are like happy tears because I'm so happy and grateful for what it's done for me. So thank you, booktube. Thank you, reading and authors and the publishing companies and everybody that has helped make me feel better. Mental health is something I'm always going to struggle with, but I feel like I'm able to manage it a lot better, and that feels so good. Whew. So that is it for this video, guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye!